it's Mary, and I hope that you are all doing well. Since we are coming up on the end of the year, I thought that it would be good to do one more creative project, and I decided to make this last creative project weaving. I've had a really cool piece of linen fabric laying around that I've been trying to figure out for years what to do with. And I thought back on my art classes in school, and we did some weaving, and I always enjoyed weaving. And so today I thought we would combine my memories of weaving with the linen that I have and make scrap fabric baskets. So I am using linen. You can use whatever kind of scrap fabric you have laying around. If you have an old pair of jeans that you are thinking of getting rid of, this would be a perfect project to cut those into strips and make the basket out of those old jeans. So the things that you'll need for this project: you'll need some kind of material, old fabric, new fabric, whatever you like. A form to make your weaving on. I'm using the stoneware souffle pan as my base. You can use anything round. So you can use a bowl, you can use a pan, whatever works for you. Additionally, you'll need scissors, some kind of tape to tape your fabric to your form. This part's optional. To finish it off, you can either sew along the top, or you can weave the ends of your fabric into the basket. I prefer the sewing method. So that is what I'm going to do. So I need needle and thread as well. So let's take a look at the next step. I prepped the material by cutting it into strips. So my strips are about an inch and a half wide. And as you can tell, they're kind of ragged. If you are going to prefer a finished basket that looks more finished, then you're going to want to remove those little strips of fabric either by pulling them off or by cutting them. I'm going for the rustic look, so I'm just going to skip that step. I prepared the tape by cutting it into strips. I'm going to lay the fabric strips onto my form. And you are going to want them to meet in the middle of the form. You want to have an uneven number of strips. To make my basket secure, I need at least 7 strips, possibly 9. When I've got my last strip, I'm going to lay that underneath all the rest of them. And for now, I'm just going to let that sit there. Next, I'm going to flip that over and tape all those strips down. So each of those is going to go inside and be taped down. And if it's too long, I'm just going to trim it. When they're all taped down, I'm going to flip it back over. This tail that I left longer, the one that is underneath all of them, I'm going to wrap around all of them and just make a knot in the middle to secure those. Spread them out so they're as equidistant as we can make them. Tuck that tail back inside. Now we are ready to begin weaving. I always start and pull it all the way through. This extra end, I'm just going to tuck over on the side, and basically it's under, over, under, over, under, now you can tell already there's a bit of area, so I'm just going to bring that in closer. So we were under, next one's over, next one's under. That's the tail on our tied part, so I am just going to go right over that also. Over that one, under. So when you come back around to where you started, you're going to do the opposite there. So the first time around we went under, this time we're going to go over. So it's just a matter of going all the way around, over, under, and continuing through till you complete your basket. So if you happen to be doing this and you realize that your base is leaning to one side, you can tighten it up and make it so that it stops doing that. And if you pull too hard, at some point you're going to loosen that tape, which is exactly what I did there. So I'm turning it back over, taping it back down, and I'm going to remember not to pull that hard, because that is not something you really want to do. And so we continue with our weaving. So you can see one of the drawbacks of not finishing off the thread is I'm getting a lot of threads laying around. But like I said, I'm going for a rustic look, so I don't really mind that. I actually kind of like it. I'll continue weaving. We'll come back when I have got the bottom completed. Bottom's not quite completed, but I came to a point where I'm running out of the material, so I'm just going to tie it off, tie it to the new strip, and continue on. I'm going to wait to cut this until I see exactly where it's going to fall. All right, we're at the point where that is where it's going to be. I'm just going to cut it. And it'll be a little knot on the side of my basket. I can just choose to turn that inside if I don't like the way it looks. So let us keep weaving. So I'm basically done with the base. If you feel that part of it is like it's lopsided and it's not going the way you want, you can always push it in and make it a little tighter on that side. That is completely up to you. So that's still my tail from the beginning, so I'm just going to tuck that under again. And I've been trying to tuck it under and then over and kind of weave it into the whole thing. So I will finish this up, and then we'll be back to take a look at how to finish it off when we're done. Oh, before I go, so if you look at that one, it's kind of flattened out. You can just twist it into a better shape. So I got to the end, and I removed the tape, and I put all of the pieces that were taped inside underneath. And now I'm just going to go through and do a blind stitch all the way around to hold those pieces where they are. So just in and out, and make sure that I catch all of those edges. Now that they are all the pieces that were taped inside have been sewn quickly, just a quick in and out stitch to hold them there to the inside, I'm going to remove that. Go back around with needle and thread and just sew it one more time with a stitch that holds better. So all the way around the whole basket. And when I get done with that, I'll just tie it off. And again, as I said, I'm going for a kind of rustic look here. So I'm not too particular about how even and beautiful the stitches are. But it looks like I've gone all the way around, so I'm just going to quick stitch a knot there. And cut it off. And there is my finished basket. So here is my finished basket, and it is strong enough to stay up by itself. I was afraid it wouldn't be, so I'm pretty happy about that. I think that I am going to store some of my stationery and writing and drawing materials in here, so that'll be a really good use of it. And whenever I look at it, I can think of my husband and remember his material that I made it with. So I hope you have enjoyed this project, and I hope that you try your hand out at weaving. We'll be back with more weaving next week, and I hope that until I see you again, that you continue to use your creativity to improve your world. And thank you.